Today, I want to talk a little bit about an interesting guy on the internet and named Anton Daniels. I don't know him. He looks a little bit like Rick Ross's cross-eyed brother. But anyway, he loves to join in the chorus of these really disgruntled black men that give this crazy, horrible advice on the internet. And what I want to do is kind of put it into context. I'm a little bit older than him, so maybe a little bit wiser, maybe not. I want to share something with you that has to do with something that was brought to my attention that I thought was really interesting. And it has to do with this guy. There's a guy named Anton Daniels that gives interesting perspectives on a lot of different issues. And he mostly talks about women. There's a lot of I don't understand men who talk about women all day long, but this is what he does, and he kind of is part of what I would consider to be this tribe of men who apparently maybe they're very hurt, maybe women make them sad. I have no idea, but some of the conversation is a little bit disturbing in the sense that it's not a reflection of what is going to create a healthy, prosperous black community.
Boyce Watkins is at it again. You know, we always told Boyce Watkins to focus on your economics degree, your whatever it is that you do when it comes to math and numbers and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is he doesn't get the views that he desires when he talks about economics and education to the black community. So he likes to deal in a lot of the salaciousness. He likes to run his mouth and put his nose in places where it doesn't belong. You know, he gets into people business. He panders to women. He doesn't like to tell the truth. So he brought up Anton Daniels, where I'm not a big fan of Anton Daniels, but I actually agree with Anton Daniels on this topic here when it comes to this. So he went on to his platform to really go in on Anton Daniels to pander to women, and Anton Daniels decided to pull up to the show. Now, they've been throwing shots back and forth for the last couple years now, and Anton decided to pull up so they can have a dialogue. And when Anton pulled up, he expressed to Dr. Boyce Watkins how he felt and the way Dr. Boyce Watkins can be phony at times. Check this out.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing good. So welcome to the channel. It's good to finally meet you in person. So I assume that you have some things to say. So I'm gonna go ahead and just be quiet and give you the floor.
First and foremost, let me say I appreciate you for letting me come on a platform and even being able to have this conversation, because I think it's important, because we just fundamentally disagree on a lot of different things. First, let me say that I remember all of the times where you were throwing shots, Boyce. You threw a lot of shots in a lot of the different red pill content spaces. You throw comments inside of Instagram posts that's specifically referencing me on videos that they were post to me. You throw ad hominem attacks like, oh man, he must be cross-eyed or stuff like that. And that's cool. I don't have any problems with that because it's cool. We all content creators and people are going to get shots. But then you can't complain on the other side when people reference you, because you always playing victim or you always trying to act like you don't understand why people have a problem with you. It's because you do things like that, but then you want to sit here and posture and say, well, we should all talk like men. You started it. You absolutely started it. And so when other people start to get shine, or when other people's message start to resonate with other men, then you throw shots instead of having a conversation with them. So I appreciate you for even allowing for me to come on a platform and have this conversation in the first place, because I think that, you know, you need to check that. You do a lot of that when you talk about empowerment, but you always throw shots at different content creators. But then when it's time to have a conversation in the past, you say, well, I'm not paying attention to it. I don't really reference it. It's not a big deal. I think that's not right. That's not right, boys. That's not right.
Now, the funny thing is, the way he came on to express to Dr. Boyce Watkins how he felt, and the way Dr. Boyce Watkins is phony, and how he panders to his female audience, and then he likes to throw shots and then play victim. Listen to Boyce Watkins' response and what he actually says. Check this out.
You had a great point. You really exposed me with that, because you're right. Sometimes I go in the land of petty. Like I think, for example, and it really is, it is a type of hypocrisy that I've always had to confront, because it's like I had, and you're not the first person I've had that kind of disagreement with. Kwame Brown really had a problem. I mean, this dude made 12 videos or something in a row about me. I didn't watch any of them. So that part about ignoring it, I really do ignore it because I want to focus. But if you really look at it, I said his name first instead of, and I wasn't trying to insult him, but I said his name, he got offended, and that was the reaction. So you could be right. I've been accused of being a provocateur before. And so first off, I want to acknowledge that and even apologize for that. But then second of all,
I don't think it warrants an apology because we are content creators. The only thing that I'm saying is, if you dish it out, you just got to be willing to take it back.
So after they went back and forth, they had a good debate and dialogue where they start talking about accountability for the black woman and the difference between accountability amongst black men and accountability amongst black women. Check this out.
It's not somebody for everybody. We know that to be a fact. Everybody is not going to win. Everybody not going to get married. Everybody can't go on. We know that this is the truth. And so for example, I have conversations with women because I think that they're delusional to all be going for the same type of guy. More importantly, I think that they're delusional to believe that they all deserve a great man, because their definition of great is not realistic for what we actually need in our communities. Most of us are regular, everyday people. That's just the reality.
Okay,
we all regular, everyday people.
Well, let me ask you this though, but is it not delusional for us to decide what we think a woman deserves or what a woman can actually get?
Yes.
I've seen women who, maybe they got a couple kids and they are a certain age, but because they got the secret sauce and they know how to treat a man, or they know how to exercise their options appropriately, they never run out of men that are interested in getting with them. So I don't think that I would have the authority to go.
They don't run out of men.
Think about it though. Think about it.
They don't run out of men that's willing to sleep with them. It's a difference.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Right. We agree on that. We agree on that. Right. But I can't.
Sleeping around is not good, boys.
No. Seriously. Like, imagine somebody telling a young black man that because you got a criminal record and a bad credit score, ain't no woman never going to want to be with you. You don't know. I mean, this man might be 6'5" and handsome as hell. He'll never run out. He'll never have a shortage of women. Right. So the point is to say that you can't look at a person and make your determination that they're delusional. It's like if somebody says, I want to get a job and I want to work 10 hours a week. I want to make $500,000 a year. It's not my right to say that's delusional. I would say, well, that's going to be hard for you to do. But there are people like Anton Daniels who does work 10, however many hours a week you work, and you make a lot of money.
Right? Isn't it interesting? Because you're validating delusion as though people deserve to get what they think that they want. For example, why do we try to discourage every young guy from not thinking that they just gonna make it into the league? You don't have to be a rapper. Hey, family, if you over here and you think that you deserve or you're gonna be awesome and to be this big rapper or to be this big basketball player, we know statistically that you have a greater chance of being great when it comes to investing and putting into your 401k and reducing your tax burden and possibly starting a business if you understand it from a business perspective, or becoming going down a specific path from a college perspective and becoming a software engineer or a cybersecurity professional. I'm going to lead you into the thing, and then I'll say, listen, you can follow your dreams after you do what you're supposed to do when it comes to securing your future, or to make sure that you're always going to be able to make money, right? And so the delusion is to put all of your eggs in that basket, and I'm going to call that young man out on that, and I'm going to say, listen, bro, if you're putting all of your eggs in to make it into the league, what if you break your leg, right? That's not realistic. And even if you make it into the league on average, the average basketball player only is in the league for 4 years. And then 5 years after they leave the league, they're going to go bankrupt. That's what the statistics say, right? And so I'm not leading him into this delusional way of thinking. I'm going to speak to him based off of what's best for him. And so it's the same thing when it comes to women, except for we remove those barriers because it's only based off of what you feel, not based off of the reality. The reality is that they don't deserve a certain type of guy based off of their life circumstances and the way that they live their life. See, the way that we judge people and we evaluate people is based off of what the results are. If you decide that you want to go out here and you sexy red, it behoove me to sit here and tell you that you deserve a Russell Wilson. But the problem is you'll have a Russell Wilson then hit these women with delusion because they've made the decision. Now you got every woman saying that they're gonna say the Sierra's prayer. That's not reality for the majority of the Black community. So we got to speak to the majority. We can't speak to the anomalies. It's not realistic.
Okay, so I will agree with your point 100% is that remember my background's economics, and I think I see everything as a market. And what you're basically saying is that if you're talking to a kid in the hood that says I want to be the next LeBron, you might say, look, the odds of this happening are very, very low. But you never know. You might be talking to.
See, the hypocrisy in Boyce Watkins is the very things that he actually try to advocate for women to speak up for, he wouldn't do himself. He wouldn't deal with them 304s. He see them with his eyes, right? We don't have a problem castigating and destroying our Black boys, but we're not allowed to say anything about our Black girls and look at the behavior in the communities. I keep telling y'all, I'm not pro-Black man. I'm not pro-Black woman. I'm pro-Black community. I'm pro what's right. And for years, I've been talking about casual sex destroying the Black community. If I'm a hoe and a dog and I'm a straight man that mess with women, then that means women are doing the same thing I'm doing. We're all doing the same thing. This is nothing new. But let's check out the second half, and I'll really go in on this. Check out the second half of this.
If LeBron's teachers had said going to the NBA is not going to happen for you, that would have been wrong, right? But most kids are not LeBron. We know this, right? So you might say, well, look, you're only 5'8". You don't even play basketball. This may not work out for you. And I agree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. I think that when you talk about, the sexy reds or whatever, I'm right there with you on that. I talk about the sexy red bullshit all the time. But I also think that at the same time, I think as men, we should probably be a little more nuanced in terms of how we have that conversation. We don't have to be bastards about it. A lot of people, men and women, you look at men that make bad choices. We could just say, well, you're a dumbass because you made bad choices. Now look at your life. Nothing's possible for you. Or you can try to also understand why he might have made those bad choices, why he might have went to jail at an early age because of the situation he was born in. So a lot of the women that they come to men like us for advice, that will take the time to hear what we have to say, to hear a man's perspective. Some of them are so damaged. Some of them, again, I don't agree with Sierra having a baby with Future. I think Future is a piece of shit. I really do. But the problem I have is that you have a lot of guys that live that same lifestyle, have that same mentality, who might listen to your channel and say, yeah, that's right. These hoes need to change their behavior. They need to do this, do that. And I'm like, well, what about you too? I don't know why Sierra had a baby with Russell, with Future. Maybe she thought Future was going to be a better man than the man that he turned out to be, or maybe something's wrong with her. I don't even know.
That's where you lose me, Boyce. Come on, he had already had a bunch of children. He had already had a bunch of children, and he's a rapper, and he was blowing weed smoke out here in these streets, and he talking about Molly's and Percocet. Come on, you don't. What she thought she was going
now you are right about that. You're right. Just like as men, we sleep with women that we ain't got no business sleeping with. My buddy got a stripper pregnant, and he's a professor, and I was like, why would you fuck a stripper? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
He needs to be held accountable for that.
Absolutely. And so what I would say with the accountability thing, I'm all about team accountability. I'm right there with you 100%. I just think accountability starts at home. If I have not fully held myself accountable, then I have to be careful about judging others and judging.
But I have held myself accountable, and so I feel like I'm in a position.
I think that you have, but I don't think everybody in your audience has. I think that there are men who literally go through life blaming all their problems on women. The reason I'm miserable is because my baby mama. The reason that the women did, the reason I ain't got no money is because women did this to me and did that to me. And I think it starts with their mother. I think a lot of them had mommy issues. And
wait, hold on, stop there. How did they get mommy issues?
From their mommy.
Being raised by what? A single mother, right?
In some cases, yes. But then also remember, hurt people. So we are an ecosystem as Black people. In many cases, when you see an abusive man, a lot of times it rooted from behavior from some woman that did not do right by him. But when you see a woman behaving in inappropriate ways, a lot of times you can link that back to a man. And maybe it comes from her father or her ex-husband or whatever, right? And my point is to say that if we're going to
see how it always comes back to the man, though, Boyce.
It does no. It comes. Well, I think that as men, all I can do is take responsibility for what I do. All I can
No,
do is look at
no,
like
and we
where am
hold
I
other
contributing?
people
Right.
accountable.
So as a
We
husband
are
and
our
a
brother's
father,
keeper. We are our brother's keeper, and we hold everybody accountable. Nobody
it-
should be absolved from being held accountable, men and women. The difference is that I don't see guys get mad when I hold them accountable, but I do see women say that you automatically women bashing when you call a spade a spade. Listen, if you've been slutting it out and you for the streets, and then I say, hey, you've been slutting it out and you for the streets, all of a sudden that becomes women bashing because you're not being compassionate enough. But if I talk to a guy and I say, hey, you doing pookie behavior and you out here doing stuff and you messing up the community, man, you a sucker. You need to hold yourself accountable. All of a sudden it's, oh yeah, good job. You holding them accountable. It got to be equal across the board because everybody has the choice to do what they want to do now.
well,
You can't tell a woman what she can and can't do anymore. And so because of that, you don't have complete dominion over what happens in your household because she can go and do what she want to do. She can go and get her own job. She can sleep with who she wants to. Then if we want to look at ourselves as a community, then the whole community needs to be held accountable. You cannot absolve one thing from the other and then say that you automatically mad at one thing simply because you're being equal across the board. That's what equality
now,
is.
I think you make a perfect point. I mean, I can't really disagree with what you said.
See, a lot of these guys with social media space now never had a voice in the street. And social media now has given these people a voice. We've been talking about the ratchet chick, 304s. We had songs, She's So Scandalous, Tupac, Ho Happy Jackie, AZ. We've been talking about Bees Ain't Itch But Holes and Tricks. We've been talking about this. We've been calling these women out. We understood the difference between a HO and a woman. Now we're in the modern times where, like for years, we talked about what black boys was doing. We watched black boys kill each other. We watch black boys wild out. We see them. But I tell you women all the time on my channel, a lot of y'all get disgruntled when men of the community hold you accountable or speak to you, but a lot of you got sons. And a lot of y'all know you would not want your son to date the type of woman that you are. A lot of y'all know this. And y'all know me, I'm super black first. I'm super for the community. But if I can call out the black boy, I call out the black woman because I'm in the hood. There's a lot of black women that ain't ish. They out here wilding, crazy. And a lot of women that are doing things the right way are disgruntled and don't like them. A lot of times they don't say nothing because they don't want to go against the sisterhood. But they see it. Listen, a lot of these women are very disrespectful to other women. Who gonna check me, boo? You can't tell my booty hole, bro. It's wild. I mean, it's super wild today. And the problem that you have is you'll have a woman that sleep with black men, but have the audacity to say, as a man, you ain't got no business saying nothing about us women. Yes, you do. If I'm from the community, I got every right to say what I want. I have every right to correct the behavior of the women of my community and the men. We supposed to do that. I keep asking y'all, how high is the standard or the bar set for black men where we come from? Huh? Is he allowed to have standards? What is his expectations? Is he raised to even meet the expectations that the community would actually expect upon him? Is he raised to meet those expectations? So what I'm saying is we have very low standards and very low expectations for so much. So we going to castigate and call out black boys. You better call out these black girls because that's the only way you're going to save the community and help them from making bad decisions with their bodies. We got to wake up, man. We got to start telling the truth. The truth ain't hating. It's the truth. I don't agree with a lot. Y'all know I got a history of dealing with those manosphere dudes. I've been talking about this. I've been separating the wheat from the tare. I've been separating the hoe from the woman that's doing the right thing. Don't confuse my pro-blackness with me being a simp. No, I don't deal with them hoes. You get frisbeed around. You get thrown around like a free. I know. Until you want to change from your ways, then you ain't. Listen, no. I wouldn't want my son dealing with no woman like that. So we have to correct both sides. And there's a lot of women that are disgruntled with the behaviors of a lot of women in our community too. And they're starting to speak up as well. So I don't have a problem with, I like the conversation. I like the way that it ended. I like the fact that they actually ended in peace. And it was a good dialogue and a good conversation. And a good conversation, even what I'm saying, is not bashing. Correcting a woman is not bashing. We correct our boys all the time. It's just the truth. So I'm going to cut this video short here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And subscribe to Street Media TV. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.